Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Hope everyone's doing well. So last night I kind of built up a bit of an off ramp, I would say. A pretty significant off ramp to the main horse highway. And this road is going to go to an existing village. They call them a villager village. So yeah, a lot of progress made here. And I think I'll make many more um, on and off ramps similar to this, because if you look here, this is kind of the main uh, on and off ramp to the city. And it's pretty abrupt, I would say. No horses beyond this point. Don't forget it. But yeah, eventually I might improve the on and off ramp for here, because this is like the main, this is where the downtown is going to expand out to. So it only makes sense for the highway to be as seamless as possible. Seamless as possible. So say what you will about kind of replicating real life highway infrastructure. Oh, hello, AK Bubbly. How are you doing? Thanks for dropping by. Hope you're having a good night. What's cracking? So yeah, this road, because eventually the road goes back this way, but I just want like maybe a bit more living life. That's what I love to hear. All right. Glad to hear it. Are you a big Minecrafter? Yeah, so I kind of built this tunnel, and this will connect to kind of the south perimeter road. And if you look just beyond here, we have a villager village. Nice. Yeah, you gotta have the itch for it. I go in kind of phases where I'm really into Minecraft, and then I'll stop for like months or years and then get back into it. But yeah, right now I'm on a huge Minecraft kick, and this is a realm that me and a few of my coworkers started. Really, it was back in 2023. So we've been playing on this for about 3 years now. And yeah, so people kind of come and go, but it's really just like at one time everybody was into it, but then people fall off. Yeah, it's pretty long time. Um, so right now it's mainly just like me and one other guy that are pretty active in this realm. But yeah, this is where I guess the road will spit out right here, connect to the southern perimeter road, and then I'd like for it to just continue somewhere. I haven't figured that out yet. Oh, what is this? Baby cat. Kitten. Well, hop back on the Minecraft. What game are you what games are you into? Yeah, maybe the road could go cut out cut over this way. RE9. I don't think I know what that is. Oh, Resident Evil. Didn't that game just come out recently? I feel like I heard. Okay, right on. I just watched the Fable trailer, or it was like a gameplay video. Looks pretty fun. I think that's coming out towards the end of the year, a new Fable game. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I'm mostly stick to Minecraft, and then uh really like Civ 5, Civilization 5. So between those two, I don't really branch out much anymore. I like the SimCity 4, and then like uh Red Dead, RDR2. Probably gonna play a lot of GTA when that comes out. But yeah, I've got I guess I could show off the spawn here. Yeah, it's timeless. I mean, it's it's still fun to play through. Such a great game. I like the Fallout games too. Let's see. I guess I'll do a quick tour of what I've been working on these past couple years. So I'm basically building like a big city, kind of along the coast. Yeah. And this is kind of the main stables that I'm working on. Then I think below it, I'm gonna have like an indoor market. So yeah, the idea, get off the stables, then you can go into the city. Um, and that's the train station that I'm also working on a metro. Let's see. We'll go this way. Yeah, so yeah, and it's survival. We have adjusted the settings to where like if a creeper blows up, then it doesn't like ruin anything. And then also, when you die, you get to keep your stuff. So it kind of makes things a lot easier. Which personally, I would keep that turned on. Like when you die and you lose your stuff and you have to find it after, before 5 minutes. I kind of like that challenge, but it's like just higher stakes basically. It's like, oh, if you die, you actually better go track down your stuff or else it's lost. But yeah, so yeah, I got some skyscrapers, and then you got the water and canals. Somewhat built up street, but I think it's gonna be really kind of like just in a perfect world, it'll be like really easy to get around. I've got my elevated rail, but lots of different canals that I've worked on, so you can get around by boat or by rail or by horse. And so in the last episode, I was mostly working on building a connector road. I'll just kind of show you a general map. Got a nice row of buildings here, which I think... Haha. So I actually got a very similar message in the last stream, and thanks for asking, but I'm actually not interested in any like overlays or emotes or anything like that. But I'd be happy to kind of, like, in this may be a video on my YouTube channel, and I'd be happy to like put your, I don't know if you have an Instagram or what, but I'd be happy to put that in the description. Let's see, held a message. Oh, okay, I see. So the auto mod. Yeah, yeah, we'll allow it. All right, yeah, so yes, are you open to digital artists? And I'm saying no thanks. I'm just kind of streaming for fun. I'm not trying to really turn it into a business. But I respect the hustle for sure. I'm starting to wonder if yeah, absolutely. I mean, if you have like an Instagram or something, feel free to post it in here. It'll show up on the video. Yeah, so this is so the kind of the map of my general region. Bubbly, what, if you don't mind me asking, what like programs do you use to make all of your art, digital art? I guess they left the chat. Well, here I was trying to show him my whole and like I was gonna do a full tour just for this guy or gal, whoever Bubbly is. I'm wondering if these are bots. Could be. I guess maybe I'm just like oblivious to how Twitch goes, how Twitch works and all that. Did I even? I guess I lost my horse too. It's like every episode. Losing my horse. He was right by the stables just a second ago. Let's see. Wait, did I leave him over here? So we got bots in the chat. Yeah, I really it's like the older generations falling for the AI um like photos. I guess I'm becoming like that. Where's my freaking horse? Oh, this is crazy. This will be embarrassing to watch back. I don't think the last person was a bot. This person could be. I don't know. Anyways, kind of got distracted from all that. Like they seem like real people, but you just never know these days. You just never know. We gotta build this road. But since I am in the city, I'm gonna see about possibly enchanting. Yeah, I'm gonna try to enchant something. Will it be a shovel, an axe, or a pickaxe? I'm finding that for the axe, like wood cutting axe, usually it doesn't make sense to enchant the axes. Like sharpness. Like I don't know if what sharpness really does. Alright, well, we'll at least make life a little bit easier for us. Maybe I should do just a general mining episode sometimes, just kind of so I can get more iron and diamonds. Yeah, I'm kind of not let down, but kind of like, all right, Bubbly just hopped in the chat, tried to sell me something, and then took off. And I was here to, here I was thinking it was a real person. Like I said, I would love to know. I guess I need to just like do more research on Twitch streaming and the ins and outs and all that, so I can really know what's going on. So right now, I have no idea. I don't have a clue. Like maybe it is real people, but they're just out here hustling. And you gotta respect the hustle. maybe that's where it's at. I need to um, start making some themes and overlays and profile emotes, whatever they're called. Yeah, I don't even think I'm gonna take any more cobblestone, because we will quickly get more of that. Yeah, guys, let me know how you think this on-ramp could be improved. Because part of me is like, I'll just keep it going under and then have like an on and off on both sides, like you'd see in any American city. And probably cities worldwide. Yeah. This will be the over the hill road. Yeah, I mean the road right now, the road makes sense to me for why it's here, what it will connect to. Time will tell. It would be kind of funny if if I'm just like talking to bots the whole time in like every stream, but I think it's a real person. Like, oh yeah, good to see you again. Thanks chat. Thanks for coming in. Oh yeah, I still don't want to. Still not interested in your digital art, but some of it is cool. Yeah, so I had the setting to where you have to follow for 10 minutes before you can leave it, before you can leave a comment. So I may go back to that, but it's kind of fun talking to bots. I've watched, you know, a handful, a dozen, couple dozen videos about like starting out on Twitch, like different um, strategies to gaining an audience and all that. Um, but I haven't watched any about like, oh, this is probably a bot. Um, you know, if someone tries to promote their digital, their, I don't even know, graphics, that it's likely a bot, and maybe even the art is digitally created. I haven't watched any informative um, videos about that. So feel free to leave a comment and let me know what's going on. Nice. Yeah, it's kind of funny. Like, you have to climb all the way up here just to go back down through the tunnel. But I will probably have, like, another road, like maybe an offshoot to where it'll go, like, to the top of the mountain. Mountain with a T. All right. Gotta make it to this village. I think this road will make sense. It's not a pointless road. It'll help connectivity. Yep. Yep. All right. We will watch a YouTube video here very shortly. Can't have too much dead air. But for all the people on YouTube, thank you very much for subscribing. It means a lot. Would it help if I made like a stream schedule? Like if I put that in there and then it's like just so it's more predictable as when like as to when I'm going to be on. So I was like, okay, I noticed that's like a main part of your like channel. Or like it's a tab. So I'm like, if I can reliably be on at the same time every night, and maybe I don't know, maybe that makes a difference. It's hard to say. All right, I really need to put a bed up here. I was just going back and forth down the road in the sky. And you may be wondering why there's no support beams to support these structures. I plan on doing that at a later date. So the mic might keep cutting out. Yeah, I plan on actually putting in pillars and stuff at some point, but right now I just kind of see that as a menial task that I don't feel like doing. But at some point I want it to be realistic enough to where I'll go in under all these different roads and put in some pillars, support beams. Man, I am really struggling to stay focused this fine evening. I was thinking I was gonna bring the stone cutter up here, but really I'm not ready for that. Gotta dig out the tunnel first. Yeah, when I was looking on Chunk Base, I was like, yeah, it doesn't really seem like this road will really lead anywhere. But then you get in the world and you're like, okay, it could cut off to the left down that way. I can make it work. Chunk Base, I really love it. Looking at the different maps, but at the same time, you kind of have to go see it and see if it actually is a good spot to put your road. And like sometimes I guess what I'm trying to say is sometimes where it doesn't look like it would work, like because it shows the terrain, it actually could work, and like the road wouldn't take up as much space as you think it will. But it is a really good reference. You know, it's a good thing I have so much copper. I can just keep building copper tools. I wish I could say the same about my iron supply. And diamonds. So, the other guy that's in this realm, he has like 2.5 stacks of diamonds, and I've kind of dipped into him a little bit, but because he said I could, but I'm really trying to like not take all of his diamonds, but it's tempting. Nonetheless, it's very tempting. the slow process of digging a tunnel. And to me, I find this quite relaxing. It's like this was quick. That was a very strange noise. Sounded like a gurgling. We'll move to you too. Should do probably a little bit higher ceilings, so the horse. So when I'm on my horse, I can get. I'll have plenty of headroom. Not that you really need. I think really you just need like 3 blocks high probably. But I like to go big. Gotta go big or go home. It's zombies. Zombies behind these walls. All right. Oh yeah, I was gonna get some wool for a bed. Totally forgot to do that. Luckily, I have a bed. I think maybe this way. Hmm. I have to go all the way over here. Yeah, it might be cool to plant some more cherry blossoms through here. Make this road more of a destination. Like worthwhile. Okay. Jeez Louise. It's provoking me. Just need one more sheep. Where are them sheep at? Okay, new horse. Spawned in. Just need one sheep. That's all. What's the view up here? Just a sheep. That's all I need. One more. Just one more sheep. Come on. Never a sheep. Never, it's never what you need, is it? Yeah, it's a bit of an eyesore. It's either a modern marvel, or a terrible eyesore. It's the price you pay for convenience. All right, I guess we're not getting any sheep anytime soon. Offload some of this cobblestone. Wait. Wait, was that a sheep? Wait a second. It sounded like a sheep. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. I think we'll put Put the bed right here. It's funny, I was pretty happy with this last night, but now I'm like, yeah, it doesn't look super great. What are you gonna do? I think maybe I like the design element of it. Yeah, my stone cutter is all the way back down there. All right. We'll queue up a YouTube video. And this one might be a little depressing. I don't know. Just I kind of got interested in that missing scientist from that out of New Mexico about a month, probably a couple months ago. Not sure if any of you have been following, but this just popped up on my, what do you call it, feed. It says missing scientist body found, new timelines, and more updates. But I'm thinking this is one of the other scientists, obviously because of the thumbnail. Because the guy, basically it was an older guy that went missing from his house, also in New Mexico. and I think his gun was missing, and then I think maybe his wallet. I can't remember. Maybe that's all he took was his wallet. He left his phone at his house, if I'm remembering correctly. Anyway, we'll cue up the video because it all could be connected, the different missing scientists and everything.
The remains of a New Mexico woman who's been missing for nearly a year. The body of Melissa Casillas, an assistant at the Los Alamos National Laboratory, a nuclear security facility, was discovered in a national forest about 70 miles from her home. Police say they also recovered a gun near her body. Casillas first reported missing last June when she didn't show up for work.
Let's see. Okay, I think I figured out the echo thing. So I have to mute my other thing. Okay, figuring out the technicalities.
Her purse, her phone, and her ID all left at home. You probably remember this story because Casillas is one of those several scientists and military service members who have either unexpectedly died or gone missing just within the last few years. Police say an investigation into her death is now underway.
New police body cam footage may be shedding light on just what happened to missing Air Force General William McCaslin when he just vanished from his New Mexico home. This was in late February. No sign of him since. The 68-year-old once served as the commander of research for the Air Force Research Laboratory, which has long been rumored to have ties to top-secret UFO research projects, even the alleged Roswell crash. And this new body cam footage recorded just a few hours after McCaslin vanished, an unidentified female caller speaks to the officer investigating his disappearance, claiming that she not only worked with the general, but she had dinner with him the night before he disappeared. She says they weren't alone. Apparently, members of Space Force, which tracks unidentified objects like UFOs, were also there. She also said McCaslin seemed to be acting out of character. Take a listen.
I was shocked this morning when I saw the alert because what I noticed Thursday evening is he wasn't his usual self. He was kind of spacey and quiet.
He wasn't his usual self. The caller also filled the officer in on just who McCaslin was and why it was so important to find him.
Right. Does he carry like a security clearance or anything like that?
He has a very classified security clearance. He was
He's
the
like
head
top
of
level.
Air Force Research Lab. To the point, the man's names are in the UFO documents that they release. He's in that in-depth, so he has a very high security clearance.
What a coincidence.
So what's odd about this is that before this body cam ever rolled, McCaslin's wife posted a plea for help, where she said her missing husband only had, quote, very commonly held clearances since retiring from the Air Force 13 years ago. Though if the caller's claims are to be believed, the missing general may have been more involved in that top secret work than his wife realized. But does it explain McCaslin's disappearance? Joining me now for a closer look is the deputy science editor at the Daily Mail, Chris Malore, who has been covering this story since the beginning. Chris, welcome to the show. A lot to get into. So if the caller's claims are to be believed, McCaslin met with Space Force before he vanished. Do we have any idea why they met? Has Space Force commented on this alleged meeting?
Thank you for having me. Space Force has not commented on this at this point. However, what we do know from the caller, who is still unnamed, so we don't know the validity of the claims. However, this person did say that they were a member or worked with General McCaslin at the Kirtland Partnership. That is a nonprofit which deals with the Air Force base that McCaslin formerly commanded, and also works in the community to basically grow the base's assets, their influence, And so meeting with Space Force is heavily involved at Kirtland Air Force Base. It is a major national security complex. So for McCaslin to still be involved to that extent definitely raises questions about the level of clearance he still had.
Yeah, what about the discrepancy there? McCaslin's wife said he had commonly held security clearances. That caller claims he had a high-level clearance. What do you make of that?
Well, in the realm of high security military apparatus, you have what's called compartmentalization. We've talked to a number of congressmen and also former intelligence officers within the FBI, and they all agree that many times you have high-ranking officials cannot tell their loved ones, their partners, anyone in their family what it is they're doing. Okay. So it is not unheard of for loved ones to simply not know what their loved ones are doing. In this case, being General McCaslin, his wife may literally not have had any idea what he was still connected to.
That makes sense. How does his disappearance fit in with the other missing or dead officials allegedly connected to top secret work, Chris?
Well, this is the fascinating part. McCaslin's disappearance is the latest that we know of in a string of deaths and disappearances. Right. But most importantly, the disappearances, he seems to be the linchpin, because when you look back at the general's history, especially his military history, all of the other disappearances, most of them being in nuclear research. We've had government contractors, administrative assistants, and other staff on hand at many of these facilities throughout New Mexico. The general worked or had influence over those positions. And all of these people disappeared in almost the identical fashion as the general. They walked out of their homes, they had no electronics, no way of tracing them, and simply vanished off the face of the earth within the last year.
It's so bizarre. I do want to play some body cam footage of the police interviewing McCaslin's wife the day he disappeared. And then I'll talk to you right after, Chris.
That's so freaky.
Today, he had taken a drug that the doctor prescribed last night that was
it could all just be a coincidence.
With weight gain, he's lost about 20 pounds for no reason, and with anxiety.
So his wife mentioned a medical condition. With that said, the anonymous caller said he was acting differently the night she met him. Do we know anything more about that possible condition he may have been suffering from?
Well, what we know from previously released 911 calls that his wife, Susan Wilkerson, made before officers arrived, he had, according to his wife, complained of his brain, quote unquote, deteriorating. He was worried of some sort of change in his cognitive well-being. He was reportedly under doctor's care and receiving tests, but no official diagnosis. So it's hard to say if he was legitimately suffering from any type of cognitive decline or not at the current time.
So it really just seems like just as many questions than answers tonight as we try to get to the bottom of where this general disappeared. Chris Malloy, thank you so much. Please come back soon, and hopefully we get more answers. Thank you again.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
39-year-old Matthew Sullivan. He died of an accidental drug overdose in 2024, just weeks before he was scheduled to be interviewed by lawmakers about UFOs. Sullivan was reportedly a colleague of David Grush. Grush is the former Air Force intelligence officer turned whistleblower, and Grush claims the U.S. government has a top-secret program working to reverse engineer spacecraft of non-human origin. During his first network television interview right here on this show, Grush told me that he felt he was being threatened for blowing the whistle.
I had some unique things happen in my personal life that, were some of the causal factors for me to file a complaint, some things that my wife and I had noticed, some intimidation.
So is it possible that that's what happened to Matthew Sullivan? And what about the other missing scientists who held high security clearances and who all either died or mysteriously disappeared? Our next guests have some unique insight. Joining us is University of Albany physics professor Matthew Zhadagas. He's a physicist focused on dark matter and UFO research. Also joining us is veteran television producer and author Miguel Sancho. His new book, Evidence of the Extraordinary, takes readers inside UFO investigations. Great to have you both with us. Miguel, I'm going to start with you because you just spoke with David Grush about the Matthew Sullivan case. David Grush knew Matthew Sullivan. Does he think anything fishy happened here, that this should be investigated?
It's a good question,
It's good to see you, and thank you so much for having me. I know David Grush professionally. We're not best of friends, but we've stayed in touch ever since he gave that interview to News Nation through Ross Coulthard, as you know. And I reached out to him today and just had a relatively brief chat asking him, if anything, what he knows about Matthew Sullivan. He confirmed that they were close friends. There's been, as you know, some discussion about exactly what the nature and extent of their relationship was. But he said he is being very cautious, as is his nature. He's a very cautious, very discreet, and I would say very honorable man. And he's waiting for the right time to go public with what he knows about the relationship and what he thinks about Mr. Sullivan's untimely death. He did say that in terms of connections to other cases on this list, he doesn't see an immediate connection with all the other dozen or so tragic disappearances and deaths, but he does find the McCaslin case, which is kind of the granddaddy
the
of
General
them all.
McCaslin, yeah. He
Indeed.
is very mysterious.
He considered that very concerning. And as we go through these, I think it's very important to kind of take them in isolation before stretching and embracing some overarching grand unified theory of everything. Many things can be true, as you often say. Some of them can be accidental, some of them can be suicides, some of them could be foul play that has nothing to do with UFOs or conspiracies.
Right.
Some of them could have foul play involved with foreign adversaries.
Matthew, what's your take on it all? I mean, obviously, we've got members of Congress who've been very concerned, who've come on this show and talked about the fact that they want this investigated. The FBI, in fact, and NASA are investigating. President Trump has called for an investigation. Do you think, I mean, some of these people on this list, clearly, it doesn't look like they were part of some conspiracy, but others, you know, to Miguel's point, General McCaslin especially, these are very mysterious.
Yes, I think David Grush said it very well, as Miguel just quoted, that I think there's a lot of nuance here where there could be a there on very particular cases, but it's all.
Yeah, I'm kind of like, when are you gonna get to the point about the title about, I guess their body was found, but I mean, all of this is kind of just speculation. Obviously, it's pretty suspicious and strange. And the whole, like, that it could be a foreign adversary. It's an interesting theory. And then I also find it interesting that this David Grush guy is so outspoken in public. And like, no one, you know, like, there's not, like, he hasn't mysteriously disappeared. He's still out there. Like, could it all be coincidence? Kind of thinking not, with like just so many of these scientists going missing around the same time. But yeah, most of this, what we've seen so far, is kind of stuff I've already been following. So wondering if it'll talk more about the one who, this lady, I guess, whose body was found. We will see. But yeah, the William McCaslin, that one was very mysterious, and I think that's probably why it's gotten so much attention nationally. And I mean, from what I've seen, he was pretty high up in this like whatever organization dealing with like just top secret type programs. So yeah, let's see if there's any revelations from this video. So far, I would say not really. It's a lot of stuff I already know, or I've already looked into, and kind of speculation from them, which is like, yeah, I mean, nobody knows what happened to these people.
Also, possible that there's sometimes conflation as well. So I think it's important to realize that there may be some cases where it's a much stronger possibility that there's some sort of nefarious connection. But we have to be very careful not to conflate all different cases together, right, because there might be different causes.
And Miguel, David Grush did make it clear, both in my interview with me and in his interview with Ross Coulthart, he had been threatened.
No, and
repeatedly.
Yeah, and his claims were taken seriously enough by the Inspector General of the intelligence community to verify and to legitimize his whistleblower complaint. So he's not just making this up. He's not just sitting in a chair spouting off or fantasizing. And, as we know, there are many cases in which some version of a sinister theory or something, right, has indeed have been at least partially true. So even though, grand conspiracy theories require one to believe a stack of improbable possibilities. I mean, just look what's the recent most thing about Havana syndrome, which we were told, for years was
nothing.
A mass psychosis, right? Well, just in the recent months.
Now it looks like it's something.
You're exactly right.
Yeah.
And people are taking it seriously and no longer writing it off as it was just in people's heads.
By the way, it was the government who was saying it was nothing for many, many years, and it's now the government admitting, at least some members, we had it wrong. There is something to the Havana syndrome. Matthew, you are an expert on UFOs and physics. You have gone on the record taking on skeptics and saying, for example, the famous video of the from 2004, the Nimitz Tic Tac video, cannot be debunked. That this is, in fact, not some man-made analogy or natural weather phenomenon. You think this is suspicious as an unidentified flying object. Why?
That's because there have been intensive studies made, so including by some of my colleagues like Professor Kevin Knuth at University of Albany. He co-authored a paper with Robert Powell and Peter Reale of the Scientific Coalition for UAP Studies and studied very carefully not just that case, but several similar cases, and came to the conclusion that even with errors and uncertainties, that there were speeds and accelerations that were just not possible technologically. And many other researchers have also used the software produced by people like Mick West, who does a very good job and does expose a lot of problems, but I don't think he's right about this situation. There are other researchers besides those I just named, like there's Yannick Pengs and Marek von Rennenkampf, who have published articles very respectfully and carefully addressing points of skeptics like Mick West that they have raised rightfully and been able to show that you can't explain it away as, airplane jets or known technology.
And is it just the Nimitz Tic Tac video, or do you think other videos could be for real as well?
Yeah, I think it's not just the Nimitz Tic Tac, but also the Go Fast and the gimbal. And these are often conflated. They happen different years, different locations, but these are all separate incidences that all on their own are separately compelling, especially when you consider how during congressional hearings, it has been stated that they're not explained. And so it seems strange to me that one or two skeptics or debunkers would be able to know better than all of the government scientists or scientists hired by the government or asked by the government. That just is possible, but that seems unlikely to me.
Yeah. All right. And Miguel, you've got this new book out. It's called Evidence of the Extraordinary. It's out today, exploring UFOs using evidence-based analysis. Give me the 10-second elevator pitch. What's evidence-based analysis, and something that, where there's a great debate and argument over whether or not it exists?
It's just approaching, the book is based on one of the shows that I've produced for the History Channel for years that, puts all these videos through the ringer with experts like credentialed and wonderful physicist Matthew Zhadagas, who I've had the pleasure of knowing for years. And basically the premise of the book is just that the traditional understanding of any number of things has been disrupted, and the game has changed so many times that in general we need to be more hospitable to radical hypotheses because they happen.
Yeah, you don't have to believe everything and be gullible, but you can also question everything and not just take as verbatim and gospel the latest statement from our government. Matthew Zhadagas, Miguel Sancho, thank you both so much.
Nice.
I don't think all of the alleged cluster of missing and dead scientists are linked. I'm very skeptical of the Daily Mail claims, but I do think there are individual cases that do raise, I think, legitimate suspicions that should be being investigated, and Amy's case is one of them. Frank Milburn is a very good friend of mine. He's a former British paratrooper and former very respected British military intelligence officer who is very well informed. Frank, way back when Amy died on the 11th of June in 2022, shared with me the communications that he was having with Amy Eskridge. And in fact, I'd been in touch with Amy Eskridge well before her death, her tragic death, and she was making claims that she'd had a major breakthrough in anti-gravity. Not surprisingly, she was very secretive about that, but I'm in no doubt at all, and this is the reason why I think legitimate suspicions are raised. Amy did say, if you hear any reports that I killed myself, it's not true. It just didn't happen. And she was, I do believe, showing very credible evidence that there were some kinds of injuries on her body. I've seen those videos. I've seen the photographs. I was shown them shortly after her death, and Frank has briefed me extensively on them. The difficulty we have, and I think this is the way that it's been played, I think, by the local police. The county police didn't call for a full coronial inquiry. Amy's body apparently was cremated very shortly after her death, her tragic death. The ruling was suicide, a self-inflicted gunshot wound. But there are questions. For example, there was an allegation, I don't know if this is true, this is why it needs to be investigated, that the weapon was found near the hand that wasn't the hand she used to shoot a weapon. There were claims that I heard from people in the area that she was heard yelling and shouting shortly before her death. And also there's a voluminous quantity of videos where she herself described being allegedly attacked with directed energy weapons, as you've reported. I do think it's important to investigate this, but I don't know how we're going to investigate it when all of the forensic evidence has apparently been lost, or not lost, but since destroyed.
Well, there's a lot of attention right now. The FBI is on top of this as well. I just had to ask you, assuming for a moment we take a step back, let's assume something nefarious happened here. What did
Okay, I gotta say that guy is it's pretty funny. He's like he looks so similar to Dennis from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And even if you ever watch any of these videos with him in it, people will be commenting about how he looks similar to Dennis. Yeah, so Ross Coulthart, I mean, he's pretty good with his segments, his investigations, interviews, whatever. So I usually do like to hear what he has to say.
she know that was such a danger? I mean, researching anti-gravity technology, speaking out about UFOs. What information did she have in her possession that was unique, that could be revealed, that could potentially make her a risk?
Okay, I know this sounds to many of the viewers like a crazy conspiracy theory, but I'm on record as saying that I know from my own sources, including David Grush, that dreadful threats, intimidation, bullying, attempted murder, and even murder has allegedly been perpetrated on people who've tried to come forward with evidence of what we believe is a secret UAP, non-human technology retrieval and reverse engineering program that's been going on inside the US military and private aerospace for at least 70 years. And I don't doubt for a moment that there are some extremely zealous people who have an over-enhanced sense of their national security obligations who have been willing to threaten, bully, intimidate, and indeed murder people to hide that secret. I don't know if Amy is a result of that secrecy. I don't know if it was suicide or whether it was, for example, was it a tragic mental health episode where she concocted this story that she was under threat? I know some of her work colleagues who were working closely with her believed that that was the case. But it is tragic because what worries me is the authorities have allowed the perception to develop by not doing a proper investigation in the first place. That there is something suspicious about this case. I just question whether we're ever going to get an answer. And I suspect the FBI will find what President Trump has intimated, that a lot of these alleged connected deaths turn out to have prosaic explanations.
Right. All right. Well, we will see. You just give us a lot to think about there. I have to process that. Ross Coulthart, thank you so much for taking the time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our News Nation app right now on your phone, and you will.
Yeah, I just don't know. I mean, so I guess Ross is saying he doesn't think they're connected, but just with the timing about what do you call it? Disclosure about the UAPs and everything, and then all these scientists go missing. It's definitely fishy, in my opinion. So, unfortunately, I didn't really get any huge revelations from watching that, but still worth. Why is this mic cutting out? Still worth looking into, or it's kind of fun to speculate on. But yeah, I think we'll call it for tonight. Thank you very much for watching, and take it easy.